Around the world, indigenous communities have cultivated a deep understanding of the lands and environments in which they live. This deep understanding is known as traditional ecological knowledge, or as I will refer to it in this video, tech. Tech is a practice passed down through many generations. It's deeply rooted in respect for nature and balance with the land. In Southern California, we reside on Tongva territory, meaning before Southern California was urbanized and colonized, the Tongva people cared for this land and lived on this land. I want to take a moment to thank the Tongva tribe for all its knowledge and practices used to preserve the land we now call Southern California. The Tongva tribe is recognized by Cal Poly at the Ethnobotany Learning Center. The plaque reads, "Welcome to the place of plants." The Tongva had no word in their language for garden. Before European settlement, their entire world might have seemed to us a garden, and the plants their pantry, their construction yard, their fabric store, and their medicine cabinet. This garden on campus reminds us of how indigenous communities have always utilized what is accessible and what is sustainable, aspects important to maintaining biodiversity then and biodiversity now. The Tongva people practiced a way of life that nurtured biodiversity. We can see in these different images how plants were utilized as medicine, such as the red fairy duster, used for high fevers. The California Dutchman pipe attracted pollinator flies, which encourages biodiversity. All these plants still found on campus today. Another plant utilized was basket rush, commonly used for weaving baskets to collect fruits. Tech was also utilized to determine what could be eaten versus what could not be eaten, like the nopal. Some nopal were guaranteed to be safe to eat, while others were guaranteed to make you sick. The Tongva stored so much information without Google and made baskets without 30-second tutorials. Their deep connection and understanding of the land kept them going. But as urbanization and colonization has spread, lands have become fragmented and voices marginalized. Today, as we face a global biodiversity crisis, traditional ecological knowledge, like that of the Tongva, offers solutions. Unlike conventional science, as the ones we study on campus, tech isn't written in books or confined to a lab. It's told and passed down in stories, it's taught in songs and ceremonies. This shared knowledge is gained from their direct experiences and observations with the land over time. This knowledge holding them and their people for millennia. These images of the Tongva people are found on campus. They're illustrated to showcase Tongva people living out their lives with animals often nearby, but no one seems frightened. For thousands of years, the Tongva lived in balance with the land, using their knowledge to sustain both their communities and the ecosystems they inhabited. Take controlled burning, for example, a practice used by indigenous peoples all around the world. These intentional fires clear out underbush, renew soils, and prevent catastrophic fires. It's a method rooted in balance and foresight, now recognized by scientists as a vital conservation tool. This tool is utilized in California as a mitigation tactic during what community members call fire season. The Tongva relied on the land's natural rhythms. They practiced seasonal harvesting, gathering acorns from oak trees in the fall and collecting tool reeds to craft mats and boats. They managed wetlands, which were biodiversity hotspots, ensuring clean water and abundant wildlife. This relationship wasn't just about survival, it was a reciprocal partnership. The Tongva saw themselves as stewards, obligated to care for the land as the land cared for them. Colonization disrupted this harmony. With the arrival of Spanish missions and later the urbanization of Los Angeles, the Tongva were displaced from their lands. Their sacred spaces became construction sites, and their ecological knowledge was disregarded. Yet the Tongva have not given up their fight to protect their heritage. Today they reclaim their connection to the land through initiatives that focus on land restoration, bringing back native plants and habitats, all while using traditional practices. More information can be found at their website listed on the screen. The story of the Tongva is not unique. Across the globe, indigenous peoples are fighting for the recognition of their rights to their lands, their traditions, and their ability to heal the earth. And as we look closer, we find that indigenous managed lands are often the last remaining refuges of biodiversity. Consider the Yurok tribe in Northern California, who were able to regain control of portions of the Klamath River. Their management practices, rooted in tech, have begun to restore salmon populations and improve water quality, benefits that extend far beyond their community. They host festivals for the salmon as pictured. The rights of indigenous peoples are intrinsically tied to the health of these ecosystems. When indigenous communities are displaced or their knowledge is disregarded, biodiversity suffers. Yet globally, indigenous peoples face a common challenge: the lack of secure land rights. Whether it's the Tongva in California, the Sami in Scandinavia, or the indigenous communities of the Amazon, the fight for recognition and sovereignty is ongoing. Securing these rights isn't just a moral imperative, it's a climate and biodiversity solution.